Are you one of those that struggle with the right questions to ask your raw hair vendor? Or you have to go to Instagram in the comment section to beg them to respond to you and they still won't respond to you. So today we're going to be changing that because I'm going to be providing you with a template of questions that you can use to get the best out of your raw hair vendor. Usually these questions gets me response 99% of the time. So grab a pen, grab a paper, let's go. The first question you would be asking a raw hair vendor or a hair vendor in general is actually not a question, it is a greeting. So you're gonna start with a greeting of your choice, something like hi, hello, I hope you're well, and then you need to go on to give a summary of yourself. We want to come off as professional here. We don't want to come off as a one-time purchase. No. And this is what I do. I start by saying, hi, my name is Oris. I hope you're well. I own 2 businesses, specifically raw hair, and I'm in search of a good raw hair vendor. Came across your name and you're on a list of who I am sampling. But before I could order my samples, I would love you to respond to the questions below. There is what I need to clarify and I need to point out. You're actually telling them that you have a business. Mine is 2, yours can be 1, yours can be 3. So if you tell them you have a business, it means that they need to take you seriously because you're going to be a good client. You're also highlighting to them that you're going to be ordering a sample, and then because when you say the word sample or when you use the word sample, it signifies that you're actually going to come back to give a bulk order. The next step is actually to identify the kind of hair that they sell. You start off by saying that what kind of hair do you sell? Do you sell virgin? Do you sell raw? Do you sell processed? Then you ask another question. If you sell raw hair, could you confirm if this is from a one donor or multiple donors? The reason why we're saying this is a misconception, and let's clarify this. You get some vendors to tell you, you ask them, do you sell raw hair? They say yes, and they're not lying. Well, most of them. They actually sell raw hair, but their raw hair is actually from multiple donors. And here is why you need to clarify what kind of raw hair they're selling you, because most times when it comes from multiple donors, 80% or 90% of the time the cuticles are not aligned, because when they're in the process of transferring those hair, they kind of mess up the cuticles and then that will be prone to tangling. But sometimes you get a good vendor that would actually align those cuticles properly, that even when you get it, you might not even be sure if it's from a one donor or 2. But you need to confirm from them if there's going to be a one donor or it's from a multiple donor. What I also like to ask them, you don't have to do this, is what is your best hair? A good straight hair? Do you sell good curly hair? And if you sell curly hair, do you have a specific curl type that you sell that is specific to you? You can simplify this by saying, do you have any rare hair curly? Because the rare hair is what they usually say when they know that this curl is specific to them. And you want to find that out because you want to stand out in the market. And if you feel like they might sell you hair that you haven't actually seen as much of this curls out there, this will be good for your business. Question to ask is your hair double drawn? So usually this is a tricky question because when it's raw hair, it's necessarily not double drawn, because this is the hair that is coming off someone's scalp. So it depends on the quality of that hair of the donor. So if the person's hair is actually good thick hair from top to root, then obviously that is good, but that is quite rare because most times you get hair that have just a little bit of thin ends. So once it becomes a bit double drawn, then that means that it's been properly selected to get that double drawn. But the reason why I always put this question in there is because you can get a good double drawn hair for virgin or even for raw if it's specifically to you. So that is why I always ask this question. I would say, is your raw hair double drawn, or do you have a good double drawn virgin hair? The next question to ask your raw hair vendor would actually be your laces. So do you have HD lace, do you have Swiss lace, and do you also have film laces? Now I know you've probably heard of HD lace, or Swiss lace, but I'm going to be explaining what film laces is because not a lot of people actually know what film lace is. A film lace is a thinner version of HD lace. It's quite thin and it sticks right into the skin. It sinks better than HD lace, but it's not as durable as HD laces. For Swiss lace, obviously Swiss lace is thicker, which I have on here. I have a Swiss lace on. Then you have HD lace, which sinks better into the skin, and obviously it's a bit thicker, so it kind of lasts longer than normal. You have the film laces, which is thinner. The film laces are not as durable, but you see the film laces are used for all like the celebrities and all the shows where you see our sister Beyonce. Yeah, they use a lot of film laces for her, and the film laces are made with like a lower denier of material, so it's quite thin. You can get a good film lace that is actually a bit durable, and you can get a bad one. You might need to test quite a few vendors in order to find film laces, because some of them will tell you they sell film laces but they don't, and some of them sell the film lace but they don't actually get it right. It's really annoying when they do that, but because I've been able to test a lot of vendors, I've been able to like see quite a different version of film laces. By the way, I'm in the process of testing few more vendors that I'm going to be sharing with you all. So if there's a raw hair vendor, Vietnamese vendor, virgin hair vendor that you like me to test for you, just put it in the comment section, and if I haven't tested them already, I will, and I'm going to come and give you a review of what I think about the company and what they offer. One of the most important ones for me is really important, like this will literally, I'm not interested in your hair if you don't have this, and I think you should have that on the list, is are your laces single knotted? Even if you're selling a Swiss lace, you can also be transparent, or if you're selling HD laces or if you're selling film laces, are your knots single knotted? And I'm going to be explaining what this is. It is basically when you find some hair and you pat it and you see that there's a layer, a single layer in front of like a single knotted, then at the back of it is like triple knotted, and it's because most of them are quite lazy. I always ask this, I don't miss it because it's really important for me and for my brand, and I think you should too. So the next set of questions I asked the raw hair vendor is, do you sell wigs? Now, this might not be applicable to you if you're not looking to sell wigs. I don't actually buy wigs. I actually custom made my own wigs. So, but this is a question that you'd ask. And I always ask this just in case I get some customers that would love a pre-made wig that they don't want it customized. Your wigs, once you put it, do you sell wigs? Dash. Are your wigs the same quality as your bundles? Now here is where a lot of people make the mistakes. They will get bundles, the bundles are nice, but when they get the wigs are not the same quality. It's because they construct the wigs. They will put a good hair behind, a bad hair in the middle, and one at the top. So you need to confirm if the wig is same quality as their bundles. Now, the next question you can ask your raw hair vendor is, how long is your delivery and when should I expect my order? Especially when it comes to Vietnamese vendors, their processing time can be really bad. You can get 10 to 15 processing day, and that is not even included in your shipping. You accept PayPal. Now, listen, yeah, I have actually bought hair from a lot of vendors that don't actually accept PayPal because I just want to test. I'm just curious. And sometimes when I order, I'm like, God, I've just paid $400. Oh my goodness, I hope my hair comes. Yeah, so this is what I go through. And sometimes it is actually scammy. PayPal is so easy because if they mess up your hair, they are scared to sell you bad hair because you're going to cancel that order and then request a refund. I've heard some of my friends that make hair safe transfer wise can equally be good to get a refund from and everything like that, but I am actually not sure of that, so I can't guarantee that for you. Some of the best vendors actually don't use PayPal, they use Western Union, but I would advise to start with PayPal just to be on the safe side because we have no money to waste, sis. The next question to ask your raw hair vendor is actually the shipping cost. Now, this is it. If you deal with Indian raw hair, the shipping cost can actually fluctuate. It gets really annoying because sometimes they come to you saying it's $70, it's $80. So you need to clarify per kg how much the shipping cost will be. It's time to ask for pricing. So this is what I do. I say, could I get your price list for all your hair texture and wigs? Also put it on there. Can you also send me the prices for all your laces, your frontals and your closures? Once you copy and paste this to them, usually they come back. Most likely some of them would actually come back with just the price list, videos and everything, and ignore the questions. But the reason why they're ignoring this question is because once they see your template, they know that you're business, so they don't mess around. They want to send it to you quick and fast. But if you see this, don't get too excited about the price and then ignore the questions. Once I see this, I always go back to the most important questions that I ask them, which is the raw hair and the donor and how many donor it is. I also go back to the laces, knowing the type of lace that they sell, and also go back to the knotting of the lace. I copy and paste that to them. If they answer some and some of them don't, understand that they're quite busy, so you give them some time to answer, or you take the most important one of those questions and send it to them individually. But the reason this template is here is because it just grabs the attention. You just write it down on a paper. You should put it in your notes or something like a notepad or something on your phone, so that once you see like a new vendor, copy and paste this to them straight away. Like I mentioned, I'm in the process of testing raw hair vendors. So if there's anyone that you'd like me to test and then come back and give you feedback on this YouTube channel, please let me know. Just put it in the comment section and I am happy to. Probably thinking, okay, Oris, you've given me this template, all of these questions I have, but how do I find a raw hair vendor? Well, I've got you covered, sis. The video up here would actually break down the exact steps to find the best raw hair vendor for your business. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to your girl's channel, and thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.